I knew I was going to die. I just knew it. I just thought, this is it.
I come across a lot of disturbing cases in my daily life, but this one takes the cake. Let's begin. The house was silent when Tina Nash woke up. She tried to move. Nothing happened. Her arms were pinned tight against her sides, her body locked in place. She tried to turn her head, but darkness swallowed everything. Something rough pressed against her face. Panic rose as she wriggled uselessly, like she was trapped inside a shell. She didn't know it yet, but she had been wrapped inside her own duvet so tightly that escape was impossible. Then she felt hands. Large hands. They closed around her neck through the thick fabric, squeezing with enough force to steal the air from her lungs. Tina lost consciousness before she could scream. Earlier that night, the house in Hale, Cornwall, had felt almost peaceful. It was April 20th, 2011. Tina, 32 years old and a mother of two, had spent the day with her children and her boyfriend Shane Jenkins. The mood had been calm, normal. Shane had been acting like the man she first fell for, attentive, relaxed, almost gentle. For a moment Tina let herself believe the worst was behind them. The house sat in a quiet town in southwest England, far from the chaos that had defined the last 2 years of her life. Cornwall was known for its beauty, but inside those walls Tina's reality had been anything but peaceful. Tina had met Shane years earlier, long before they became a couple. At the time, one of her friends warned her to stay away, calling him dangerous and unstable. The warning wasn't exaggerated. Shane had previously been imprisoned for stomping on a man's head repeatedly, causing serious brain damage. Tina listened, at first. But in 2009, after separating from the fathers of her two children, she ran into Shane again at a nightclub. He seemed different, older, calmer, charming. She believed he had changed. They exchanged numbers. Conversations turned into dates. Within months they were together. In the beginning, Shane made her feel safe. That didn't last. As the relationship settled, Shane's temper surfaced. Alcohol made it worse. Arguments escalated quickly. He insulted her, spat at her, and lashed out when he felt challenged. They spent nights in bars and clubs where Shane frequently picked fights with strangers, often leaving them beaten. Eventually the violence turned inward. He hit Tina in front of her children. On one occasion, after she discovered he had been sleeping with one of her friends and told him to leave, Shane attacked her. He punched her repeatedly, pinned her down, and tried to force his thumbs into her eyes. She managed to kick him away before he could finish what he started. The warnings were everywhere. Still, the relationship continued. 8 months in, Shane beat Tina so severely that she required hospital treatment. She gave a statement to the police, and Shane was arrested and charged. Before the case went to court, he convinced her to take it back. Tina told police she had lied. She claimed she had fallen and injured herself. She withdrew her complaint and the charges were dropped. Social services became involved, but Tina managed to keep custody of her children. The danger stayed. That night in April, Tina went upstairs around 10 p.m. exhausted. As she tried to sleep, she overheard Shane talking to a neighbour in the back garden. He mentioned being prescribed Valium and offered the neighbour some pills. Alarmed, Tina rushed downstairs. She knew giving medication away could bring social services back to her door. She told him to stop. Shane exploded. He swore at her, told her to leave him alone. Defeated, Tina returned upstairs and went to bed. She woke up choking. After the first blackout, Tina regained consciousness briefly. Pain radiated through her body. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her throat had been damaged. She couldn't see. She couldn't move. Shane realized she was awake. He strangled her again until everything went dark. This cycle repeated. Tina drifted in and out of consciousness as Shane attacked her silently, never speaking as he punched her and crushed her throat. At some point, while she was unconscious, he forced his thumbs into her eyes with such force that the wooden panels beneath the bed cracked. When Tina woke again, barely breathing, she heard him nearby. Summoning what little strength she had, she sat upright and whispered, "I'm sorry, Shane. I love you." He stopped. Shane unwrapped the duvet. Tina still couldn't see. Then he spoke. "Your eyes hanging out of your head," he said. "You're never going to see your kids again." Confused and numb, Tina raised her hand to her face. She felt no pain, only shock. Her fingers touched something wet and unfamiliar. Her eyeball was no longer in its socket. The other eye bulged grotesquely, swollen beyond recognition. While she was unconscious, Shane had gouged out both of her eyes. "This is your fault," he told her. "All this over some tablets."
First time that he actually beat me up, put me in hospital. He's punched me in the face, God knows how many times, because he broke my nose and all. He then basically knocked me unconscious, and that's when he's done my eyes. Like I was roadkill, like he was trying to put me out of my misery. I knew I was going to die. I just knew it. I just thought, this is it. And I said, "Shane, I'm sorry, I love you." And that's what I used to have to say to make him stop. And it worked. And he ripped the duvet off me. And I didn't even know I was blind. I didn't know I had my eyes hanging out my head or anything. And he goes, "You're blind. Your eyes are hanging out your head. You're never going to see your kids again." And I sat up, and the first thing I did is I felt my cheek. And my eye was down by my cheek, and I stood up then in shock.
Tina begged him not to hurt her children, who were still asleep in the house. She feared they would wake and see her like this. Shane shouted that everything was her fault. He carried her into the bathroom and dumped her into a bathtub filled with cold water, forcing her head under. The icy water against the exposed nerves caused unbearable pain. Tina vomited and lost control of her bowels. She pleaded with him, promising she would tell police it was a random attack if he let her and the children go. He refused. Eventually, Tina managed to crawl out of the bath and feel her way downstairs. Shane was snoring on the sofa. She considered finding a hammer from the kitchen. She knew where it was. She could feel her way there. She didn't. Instead, she sat silently, wiping her nose. The discharge felt thick, sticky, string-like. As she pulled, realization hit. She was holding her own optic nerves. Hours passed. Around 7 a.m., Shane woke up. He knelt beside her, stroked the dried eyeball hanging from her face, and repeated that this was her fault. After relentless begging, he allowed her to make a phone call. She called Paul, the father of one of her children. The moment he heard her voice, he knew something was terribly wrong. Paul rushed to the house. Shane claimed that 2 women had attacked Tina outside. Paul checked on the children first. Then he brought them into Tina's bedroom. Tina was naked, covered in vomit, her eyes destroyed. As her children entered the room, Tina turned her head, trying to hide her face. One of her eyes fell onto the bed. Paul called an ambulance immediately. Tina spent 12 hours in agony before finally reaching safety at the hospital. Doctors confirmed there was nothing they could do. Her vision was gone forever. She told police that Shane was responsible. Evidence quickly contradicted his story. Blood-soaked sheets were found hidden in the garden. The broken wooden bed panels revealed the force used during the attack. Tina had also suffered a broken jaw and nose. Shane fled, but was arrested days later. The trial began on May 10th, 2012. His defense claimed mental illness and alleged Tina had attacked him. They argued the injuries were accidental. The court rejected the account. Shane Jenkins was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 6 years. His appeal was denied. Multiple parole requests followed, including one in April 2022, all rejected. He remains incarcerated. Tina survived. She was assigned a carer to help raise her children. In the years that followed, she documented her experience in a book titled Out of the Darkness.
My name is Tina Nash. I live in Cornwall and I'm a survivor from domestic violence. I'm having massive concerns at the moment. The perpetrator that did this to me, gouged out my eyes, he has won to be released to Cat D open prison conditions. I really wasn't expecting this, considering it was only 2 years ago that he was in Max A category prison. It feels like he's gone straight from Max A to Cat D, and I don't know how he's done this. And yeah, I'm very concerned, and I would like this to be looked at and to be reassessed, because I do believe that this man is a psychopath. I've been working with a behavioural expert who also believes that he is a psychopath.